The conversation you're having with yourself is a direct reflection of your mindset. And so if you're having a bad day, if you're having a bad moment, chances are you're talking to yourself pretty bad. Uh, in some cases, you even say, hey, that was stupid, right? Why'd I do that? Or why is this happening to me, which I've heard a lot lately? Or I can't take this anymore. This is just too much. Or why is everybody against me? Have you heard that one? Because I hear that a lot inside. And so when we start talking to ourselves this way, it reflects on everything that we do. It reflects on how we talk to other people. And it reflects how our days are. I think this is why I started with this, but this is what creates the most problems in your life, in your family, with your friends, and at work, with colleagues, everywhere. So you have to create a life from the inside out. And I think we forget because everything is happening so fast right now. And so I need you to take time to reflect on the way you're talking to yourself, because the first step is just becoming aware. Like we all go through really hard times, and some of us are having a great time right now. But again, the world's just moving so fast. I don't remember which law it was. And if any of you know which law it was, because I don't remember it, is it Moore's law that says everything is just going to duplicate and get faster and faster and faster? Now I have to Google it, damn it. Hold on. Let's see what Moore's law is. I might have it wrong. States the number of transitions in micro. Yeah, it is. It is Moore's law. So what Moore's law states is that as things progress, things are just going to get faster. So if you think real estate is fast right now through the technology that we have, and we're creating all of these opportunities and challenges because we can't adapt fast enough, it's going to get faster. And that's just part of where we're heading. And so I need you to actually take the time to slow down and think through what you're talking to yourself like, because that'll reflect to you the people that you're working with, right? That'll reflect to your friends and family, whether they put up with you, whether people pick up the phone or not. And so I really need you to do that. I love how Barbara in the morning said that she takes 20 minutes to meditate in the morning. That was key. I was like, wow, that is actually one of the wisest ways to really control your thoughts, because you focus in on absolutely nothing. Deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. And if a stray thought comes in, you push it out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. The key is to focus just on your breath, to train your mind to start thinking of just the breath. And then you think, oh, I didn't feed the dogs. Oh, my son. Oh, my daughter. Oh, my wife. Those are thoughts that you shouldn't have as you're concentrating. And you start training your mind and becoming more aware of what you're thinking. So if she's meditating in the right way, it's definitely helping her. And so I need you to become more aware of those thoughts, because we all have them. Just some of us have them a lot more than we should. Next, change your language. Change the way that you talk to other people, and avoid phrases like, oh, I'm always like this. Oh, I've always done it like this, which I think we hear a lot in real estate. Oh, yeah, I've always done it like this. I can't change. It's just me. And the thing is, it becomes true if that's what you're telling yourself again, right? If that's what you're telling yourself, then that's what you believe. Oh, I'm just terrible at technology. Right? Or I've never been really good at following up. Or I just can't figure out this CRM. It's just not for me. And I guess this goes back to number one, which is that self-talk. But now that self-talk becomes that language that you're actually using. And so here's the key, I think, to this. It's really making a habit about finding the good points and avoiding phrases like the ones you normally say. The challenge is that we've created a habit out of making this excuse for ourselves so we don't try. And it's in our language. And if we start changing in our language, we become aware of what we're saying, and then we start talking to ourselves differently internally. So instead of complaining about your problems, because not a lot of people really care about your problems, the moment you start talking about your problems, people kind of fade out and they don't care. Make a habit of talking about what's good in your life. Because what happens is subconsciously you start becoming grateful of what's happening. So when you find yourself in conversation with friends and family and those people that you're talking to, you tell them the good things that are happening. Because you don't want to have conversations about all the bad stuff that's happening in your life, because everybody's going through that. Here's where the book we read by Carol Dweck, Fixed versus Growth Mindset. It's just like everything else. And I think when you have a fixed mindset, I'm going to go through this again because I think some of us forget, but fixed mindset is you avoid challenges. You give up easily. You see some effort as fruitless, again, because you think this is how you are. So why try, right? If you failed so many times. You ignore useful criticism, or, you just don't take it. And what happens is you repeatedly do this over and over, and some of us are blind to it. I think some of us think that we're better at things than we really are, which is a whole different other story. But that's what we have with a fixed mindset. And I see that mostly, here's where we see it all. And you can nod your heads yes, or think inside yes, because it's true. We feel threatened by other people's success. Take a while to let that sink in. Because sometimes when we see other people succeed, it's like, whoa, what are they doing differently? Why did they get that? And I think that's damaging. That's damaging to us inside, because now we're focused on why them, not us. And then you start criticizing yourself. Then it's a spiral into negativity and saying, you know what, I shouldn't even be doing this, or I shouldn't even associate myself with them, or you have all these hard feelings, right? And then you have the growth mindset. And I'm just going to go over this with you because some of us forget. We need reminders, right? What was that guy, Zig Ziglar said, motivation is like taking a shower. We need it every day, right? That's just part of it. And I think this is a good reminder, because that fixed mindset is so dangerous. So growth, you embrace challenges, right? When stuff goes wrong, you don't complain. You don't talk about how terrible it is. You don't talk about all the things that you've got to do and here and that and all of this stuff that nobody wants to hear. Because the moment you say all of that, that moment is when other people start categorizing you as somebody they don't want to be around with, as somebody that's an energy sucker. I don't want to be around you if you're just sucking my energy like that. I'm sure you don't want to be around people that are complaining all day long. You want people to lift you up and make you feel better. You want to be around people that make you better, right? And so here with the growth mindset, you embrace challenges. You see persistence. Persistence is key. You see effort, right? Effort as a path to mastery. It's part of the process. It's hard, but you accept it. You learn from criticism. You take it, right? That's one of the things that some of the most successful people do, and that's And Henry Ford said this. He said, I read this over the weekend. He said, the number one secret to success is the ability to see both sides. And that's going to come in criticism. Because obviously, if somebody's criticizing you, they don't agree with the way you've done it. And it's your job to take a step back and say, well, let's take a look. Is this person right? Is some of what they're saying right? Because this is how we change and grow. Right? That's a growth mindset. You find lessons and inspiration from the success of others. You don't feel threatened by the success of others. You feel inspired by their success. But here's the thing. I've seen it. And you've experienced this because we're all human. I've experienced this. Sometimes those that are closest to us that somehow find massive success, there's a feel of envy. And there's a feel of, why them? What didn't I do to deserve it? And that's what we have a challenge with in this business and in life. So you have to start finding the lessons and inspiration from the success of others. That's something you have to fight. So let's go to the next one, which I think is the last one here, or second to last one, which is, and I've said this a lot, and you know this, surround yourself with people that have the mindset that you need. Do you know this? But I think the thing is, you don't have a consistent process that allows you to continually do this, right? This is why in the morning, I know I'm going to forget. I know the things I'm going to forget to do. So I actually have a checklist every morning. I have a checklist that I wake up to because I know that if I leave it up to myself, I'm going to screw the whole day up. Right. And I'm going to do things. I was going to do this. And then I don't do the things that I know set me up to have a better day. And so it's a checklist process. I literally check things off like I'm in first grade. Check, check. But I feel comforted in the sense that pilots have a checklist. They have a checklist of almost 200 items that they do when and before they fly. Because imagine if a pilot just got into the plane, it's just like, all right, guys, let's go. I got this. Oh, wait, do we have fuel in the plane? Oh, yeah, all right, we do. Okay, good. I think I remember doing this. All right, here we go. Flaps work just fine. I tested them yesterday. So I don't think that's the way you want to live your life, but in fact, that's the way we live it. So surrounding yourself with the right books, the right audiobooks, podcasts, webinars, YouTube, the right people. It's part of a process that you need to have in the mornings, right? You wake up, you do your thing, then you get into your groove. What book are you going to read? What excerpt of a book are you going to read? What excerpt of a podcast are you going to listen to? Who are you going to surround yourself with in the morning? There's no excuse in the world that we live in. You could just literally Google things that you want to work on and amazing things pop up. So who you surround yourself with will depend on your checklist in the morning. And lastly, I think this one, I don't think we've talked about this one too much, but it's really practice doing things that are uncomfortable for you, things that challenge you. And it's natural for most people to complain when they're faced with a new way of doing things. That's normal. My kids do it. That's why I know it's normal. They just complain, right? And so it's our job to be more aware of that and take it on as a challenge and say, embrace this. Say, well, okay, all right, I got this. It's something new. Let's look at the opportunities that I have in this. And the more new things you actually do, the more you get accustomed to it. So I remember way back when I started in this business, one of the things I was criticized for which I actually took both sides. I looked at it and I'm like, is this real? Was taking on too much at once. And I think that is both my strength and my weakness. And that's how it happens mostly with our strengths. They are also our weaknesses, believe it or not. That's how it is. If somebody is too kind and sweet, guess what? That's their weakness too. They're too kind and sweet. And so you're going to get the criticism on the other end, but you're also going to get praise for that because you're so great at it. And so when I was starting off, I took on too much, and I still take on too much. That's both my strength and my weakness, but it continually pushes me forward. And I fail a lot. Yeah, I fail a ton, and I mess up here and I mess up there, and I'm like building as I'm going. But it's made me so comfortable with uncertainty. It's made me so comfortable that I could keep on going and things are falling apart and I'm okay. I've been broken down so many times that I'm okay living in a place where I'm broken down almost all the time. And so this is where I want to challenge you. If you don't feel like that often, it means you're just not challenging yourself. And a life full of no challenges, I mean, what's the purpose? Our purpose here is twofold. We need to continually push ourselves to grow. And at the same time, as you're pushing yourself to grow and become a better person, you start helping those around you. And you pull them up. Sometimes you push them up. But I need you to get comfortable with a lot of change. I need you to start doing things that are different. I need you to embrace change, because as the world keeps on growing faster and faster and faster, and it's not going to slow down, the tech that's coming at us is at a pace that we can't understand what that tech is or how it works anymore. We just can't. And so you have to get used to getting faster and faster and mentally being okay with living in a world that you don't know what's next. Once you get to that point, and things become a little bit easier for you because you start being able to deal with situations with less stress. I think the realization that change is inevitable, the real realization and acceptance and embracing that, that's where I want you to get to. Because as leaders, we need to exude confidence and we need to exude calmness. We can't be the people that are scatterbrained and not knowing what's happening. I was just talking to Valerie over the weekend where she said, Tristan, I had to show, I don't even know how many properties to my clients to get them into escrow. It's insanity. And I said, can you imagine being a new agent right now? Can you think of the experience that you've had in the past? How's that served you for being calm, collected, and knowing what you're doing now? So we're closer than we think to this. I just need you to push yourselves more, because you're not pushing yourself enough. You just aren't. It's that breakdown moment where you're breaking down and it's like, oh, what am I doing? I don't know. And then it's like you feel like you just want to cry and just things are falling apart. That's where I want you. Those are the moments that create so much tension that they change who we are inside. And they grow. They help us grow. That's what I want from you. Don't push away from that. You've got to embrace those moments, just like those difficult conversations. After you have that difficult conversation, whatever it is, there's growth from it. It's in the same way, the life we live, the business that we have, we must embrace these moments that are tough. But if you're always shying away from it and you're saying, hey, that's not for me, I don't do things that way, this is too much, you're just going to remain where you are. And I see success as, I don't see success as financial. I don't think I have for a very long time. I think success comes to us in different stages in our life, but I see success as growth from consistent tension. It's those people that don't grow it and give up that are not successful. And I can say, everybody here, we all have challenges. We're all being broken down, and we've all risen to an occasion. I just need you to do that more and more and more. Put yourself in a position to do that. And the only way to do that is if you surround yourself with people who want more, who want a better life, who want to be better, who want to learn more, who want to grow and help others. If you surround yourself with people that aspire to be somebody greater than they are today, and don't compare themselves to other people, but to themselves and to who they can be, that's when you start rising to a different occasion. Because if you surround yourself with your same thoughts that you've had yesterday and the week before and the month before, you're no different than who you were last year. So that's where it stems from. This is why I push myself to read so much and be around people that make me better and make me rethink my approach to things. And I said, am I doing this right? Should I just reanalyze this whole thing? Does this need to go in the trash? How can I make my children better? How can I make me better? Because at the end of the day, the questions that you ask yourself on a daily basis determines your life, because that's how you answer. And those questions will only aspire to be greater and greater and greater by surrounding yourself with people that have already been there and that are trying to get better and better and better and are one step ahead in something that you're having a challenge with. So let's focus on that and see if you guys can really bring this in this week and think, all right, let's talk to myself. What's my inner voice saying? What's my language to the people around me? Who am I surrounding myself with? And do I have a process in the morning to set myself up well? And am I challenging myself on a daily basis so that I'm broken down more? Because we're all leaders. That's why I have you here.